Wow. Look at that girl in the distance. Isn't she so beautiful? She is outstanding. She is godlike. Oh my goodness. Look at the way her hair wafts on her shoulders. Look at that large posterior in the background. Her hands must be smooth. She must smell like lilacs or maybe of rosemary. Oh my goodness. I guarantee she'd make a good mother, wouldn't she? Yes. She's outstanding. As a matter of fact, go speak to her. The instant you speak to her, you discover, wow, she really knows how to listen. You begin to ramble and rant to her, and she's barely giving coherent responses, and you like the sultry way of her voice. So you decide to ask her if she has an Instagram, and she says, no, I have a boyfriend. Oh, that sucks. Dang it. Well, he must not be treating her right, obviously. Who could treat a woman like that right? I could. I could figure it out. And then you see the boyfriend. He's some short guy. Oh, I'm taller than him. Oh, my goodness. She kisses him on the mouth, and you get a little bit angry despite the fact that you just met her. And you're a little bit confused. He says, hey, pleasure to meet you. You one of her friends? And then he's confused. He's confused. He's never met you. You're confused because he's saying, oh, got it. She is allowed to have guy friends. And I said, yeah, I just want to be her friend, man. I just want to ask for her Instagram, but, she's with you, so I know you probably don't want guy friends. And the short guy says, nah, she can have friends. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I'm fine. Lo and behold, you think you have an opportunity. You add her on Instagram. Maybe you add her Facebook or maybe her Finsta. Oh yeah, her fake Instagram. You add her Twitter too. You find all of her social media profiles. And you don't message her or anything. You just wait and hope and pray that one instance they have an issue in their relationship. She vague posts a meme one day. Oh, she vague posts a meme about Howl's Moving Castle when she says the kind of love that I want. And you heart reacted, thus leaving subtle hints, planting seeds within the motions of everything. You're having a good time. You've never spoken to her, by the way. And then, lo and behold, they have a falling out. She posts this big thing about how he's a manipulative, narcissistic liar. And you say, perfect. I knew he wasn't a good guy. Perfect. My chance to shine. And then you comment and say, you deserve better. She remembers you from the bar. She says, yeah, I'm getting kicked out of our studio, but you know what'd be great? You got a place, and you do have a place, actually. You got a fair amount of a one-bedroom, an upgrade from a studio. You say, yeah, I'll live in the living room. You could take my room. You're excited about that, knowing that eventually you'll both be sharing the same room. Life's good. Everything's going fine and fantastic. You're having an amazing time. You infatuated over this girl the entire way through. Still, you haven't spoken to her at length. And she moves in all of her stuff there. And you think to yourself, oh, I'll learn about her as we live together. No problem there. No problem. I'll just learn anything about her. It's going to be an easy little fun adventure. The two of us learning each other's bodies, learning each other's, well, not bodies. I apologize. I went too far ahead, didn't I? I'm thinking about her. I'm thinking about that way that thing bounces. She stays with you for 3 days. You ask her, can you just wash the dishes? She says, sure, I got you. There's only 5 dishes in the house. 5 dishes. That's all that is. So you get another set of dishes because you've lived your life with 1 bowl, 1 plate, 1 fork, 1 knife, and 1 spoon. She says, we should get a knife set. You say, I have a knife. I have 2 knives, a paring knife and a cutting knife. And I use the paring knife as a butter knife sometimes. And she says, well, we should get some more silverware. And she's so pretty, how could you say no? Now you have 40 spoons, 40 knives, 40 butter knives, a whole knife set, and 12 plates and 12 bowls. That's a lot. If all those dishes got piled up, that would actually mess up your mental. But she's so pretty, how could you say no? So, a week passes, and lo and behold, 6 dishes get put in there. Then 13, then 20. Now you're a little bit upset, and you say, hey, could you do the dishes? And she says, sure. So you go to work, and she doesn't have a job yet. She's been looking around. You're confused. You say, okay, super simple. I'm going to go to work. Another week passes. Is that 80 dishes you see? So you decide to finally just wash the dishes. It's a calming, relaxing thing. But then, as you're washing the dishes, she comes in the kitchen, looks at you, says nothing, goes in the fridge, and eats something you've been saving for a minute. Maybe you're not really excited about moving in with this person. Maybe you're not excited about the fact that you infatuated over this girl. But no, look at that butt. Oh, look at it bouncing around. Well, it's good just to see. And she eventually gets lonely enough to say, oh, well, it's been hard on these dating apps. And you say, yeah, dating apps are very hard, and you don't have any dating apps because you're too busy working. You don't even have time for that. You got her. You're fine. You're trying to show you're dedicated. You don't go on any dating apps. You don't put your eggs in so many baskets. You're not doing all that. And she says, do you want to stay in my bed with me? And you say, yeah, I'd love to. And that bed used to be your bed. You know all the stains where they are and everything. And you see there's new stains on the bed. She's been doing stuff in here. Lo and behold, stuff happens that night. And just because you lay betwixt the sheets once, you decide to yourself, hey, should we start dating? And she says, well, let's see where this goes. She doesn't claim you yet. But every night, same spiel. She's using you in that capacity. You're confused. You think to yourself, oh, this must be my girl. This must be my girl. But she's still on dating apps. And you're mentally getting destroyed and turned afraid. You're messing up your mind. You're saying to yourself, man, this sucks. I hate every second of this. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel great. And then, one day, she finally gets a job. Life's going good. She comes home one day and explains how she loves all her new coworkers. But she uses non-distinct words. She doesn't say he or she, just they. Very nondescript. That's all they do. That's what they do. They go out smoking. They do this. They do that. And now you're confused. You say, okay, that's fine. Another night, but you notice after 3 days, she doesn't want to do this stuff anymore. She says, I'm fine. I think we've done it too much. She's trying to wean off of you. And you say, okay, that's fine. Next day, middle of the night, while she got your sleep schedule tracked down, she brings over a guy. You notice the guy, but don't say anything. She ends up posting on Instagram photos with the guy at a date. You're confused because you've been in there Monday Night Raw. You don't know what's going on. You mentally feel bad. But it's okay. She needs a place to stay. And then, after a while, the guy starts coming over. He looks you in the eyes. He high-fives you. He says, you the roommate? She says you're like a brother to her. You're confused. You think she sleeps with her brother. So you're like, no, it's fine. It's whatever. It's okay. So bada bing, bada boom. She starts dating the guy. He's much taller. Much more attractive. But he works at that dead-end job with her. Steak and Shake, was it? Waffle House? You don't even remember. You know she's a server somewhere. That's all you know. White girls with dirty feet, am I right? Who knows what's going on? Who knows what's happening? You feel horrified. You feel bad. You don't feel good at all about any of this. And so, the dishes are still piling up. She's leaving her tampons everywhere. She's very dirty, not very nice. Water bottles are everywhere. She's eating all your food. And eventually, after all this time, you snap. You break. Maybe this is what that short guy was dealing with. She's not paying rent. She's just buying stupid stuff from Amazon. I think she bought some Dolls Kills things. Maybe she bought a Stanley Cup. You're a little bit upset. You don't know what's going on. So you tell her, it's been 5 months. You got to get out. And she says, you're just like everybody else. She breaks your TV and steals $300 from your bed. You're a little bit confused. And she pees on the floor. And she leaves. She makes a big Facebook post saying he was a piece of garbage. New blessings, new up. She posts some Studio Ghibli quotes. And she says, I can find better. And she moves in with that guy that was seeing her throughout the 2 times that you saw him in that time frame. And maybe he'll have to deal with that as well. And you think back to how this all started. Man, that was my dream girl, wasn't it? Or maybe that was a nightmare. Maybe it was.